Happy New Year to everybody. This video was prepared few days back, but is being posted today because only weekends offer us the opportunity to pause, to think, to deliberate as to how can we make life better for our children, ourselves, our families, and the society around us. So this new year, most of us have made some resolutions, and this video is about suggesting some resolutions for the new year, considering the fact that the planet is being fast killed by man. It is being fast rendered lifeless. It is being fast pushed towards becoming Mars. So the first new year resolution which I would suggest is simple ways to curb global warming, of which the first one is that we should ensure that we do not allow any electrical or electronic equipments to be switched on without being put to use, which means that we should stop wastage of electricity in every form, because electricity generation creates carbon dioxide to the extent of 40%, which is primarily responsible for global warming. Global warming is being taken as the first part of the resolution because global warming itself leads to so many uh, environmental disasters. So, if we tackle global warming on its own, we shall be able to curtail, to minimize maximum many types of damages which we cause to the environment. So, the first resolution which I would suggest is that we should ensure that no air conditioner, heater, lights, fans, coolers, computers, television, or other electrical gadgets are switched on beyond except when they are being put to use. Secondly, for short distances, we should walk, cycle, use bicycle, or even tricycle instead of tricycle rather rickshaws instead of going for vehicles, because vehicles emit carbon dioxide, which again is responsible for global warming. Thirdly, we should ensure that we plant maximum trees of indigenous type, which are more environmental friendly, and at the same time, we should ensure that very few, if any, trees are cut down. Rather, if possible, we should ensure that no tree is cut down unless it is very, very necessary. In addition to these three things, another thing we can do and we should do is to explore the possibility of using chartered buses. For instance, if for people who go to the secretariat or to the court schools, meaning thereby courts, they are going to a single court or to a single market secretariat, then chartered buses can be used to minimize the emission of carbon dioxide. The second thing which I would suggest for the resolution is for the new resolution is minimizing wastage of water. Wastage of water would mean that in our houses, in our kitchens, we should keep permanent tumblers, some utensils to save water which is left out after washing the rice, pulses, fruits, vegetables, and then this water can be poured back into the soil so that it again goes to recharge the water underground water reservoir. Another thing towards water saving is to reduce the amount of water we use for bathing. We should not use water pipes for washing our vehicles, cars, scooters, etc. Instead, we should use buckets and cloth. Further, while switching on the top tap, we should ensure that it is not switched on to the full, and minimal water flows out. And similar other measures we should adopt to prevent the wastage of water. Third thing, we should adopt the policy of recycle, repair, reuse, recycle, and reduce. In earlier times, we used to try to get things repaired instead of going for a new gadget, new good. So we should try to get our electronic gadgets repaired and other goods also repaired instead of going for a new electronic gadget or a new consumable good to the, if it is possible to get it repaired, and it is possible to get it if it is possible to reuse it. Because by going for latest gadgets just for the sake of fashion or for the sake of some new features, we are adding great amount of electric or electronic waste and other waste as well, which our children, our grandchildren will have to clear, or who whose repercussion they will have to suffer if we continue with this trend. Because several kind of wastes we create in addition to electronic gadgets, mobiles, shoes, uh, and similar things are waste creation we should minimize. So, what I would suggest is the third thing would be that we adopt the policy of repair, reuse, recycle, and then finally reduce. Reduce means that we should minimize the exploitation of Earth's finite resources and try to, because if we try to get things repaired instead of going for a latest model of the electoral gadget or other things, then waste creation will go down. The fourth thing which I suggest would be that we should minimize the usage of plastic. We should carry cloth bags, which would ensure that less of plastic comes into our homes. And if the plastic comes to our homes, we should ensure that it is returned to the merchant from where it came. Then we find that several stationery items, cloths, stationery items like scale, pencil, eraser, uh, refills, all are being packed in plastic wrappers. Similarly, several cloths like towels, handkerchiefs, socks, vests, all these are wrapped in huge plastics. Bed sheets are wrapped in plastics. Similarly, several uh, jars come in wrapped in plastics. So we should try to collect these plastics and send them back to the companies where they come from, so that, and with the request that it may be reused and recycled. So we should minimize the usage of plastic to the extent possible, and discuss with others the ways how to should we get to rid of the plastic wrappers and other the pulpit jars, the shampoo bottles, which are now all coming in plastic. Similarly, instead of we should try to substitute our shaving cream tubes with shaving cups, which shall again reduce waste creation. Another thing is that we should analyze our activities very microscopically from the time we wake up till the time we sleep, and minimize all the anti-nature living ways to the extent reasonably possible, and adopt simplicity. We should also, the sixth resolution which I would suggest is that we should discuss the issue of environment conservation and the urgency to act. Discuss this issue in our canteens, schools, colleges, courts, while traveling in buses, metros, flights, while sitting at the chai wala, wherever possible, we should discuss the issue of environment conservation, because, as per latest reports, as hardly 10 to 12 years remain for the tipping point to be reached. That is, after 20 years, if we continue with this format, after 20 years, the environmental downslide is likely to become unstoppable and irreparable. And if that happens, then we shall never be able to forgive ourselves for the present inertia. So we should discuss the issue of the environment conservation with as many people as possible on interpersonal discussions as well as on social media. So much so that it becomes a very, very important issue, because seldom we find the electronic media or print media devoting much time to the urgency of environment conservation. This issue also seldom finds place in the election manifesto of political parties, because it is not discussed with the great sincerity, though this is a vital issue with concerns our very existence. The sixth, rather the seventh resolution for the new year, which I would suggest, is that we should acquire more knowledge about the life supporting systems, the cycles he created to support life, like the water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle. These are the macro level things beyond the human body. The season cycle, the rotation, revolution of our planet, all these things need to be studied. Similarly, the microcycles within each of us, like the skeletal system, nervous system, circulatory system, respiratory system, excretory system, and similar other systems, and which means that both at micro level and macro level, we should study the life supporting systems God created, and which on which life sustains. And we should also study how man is damaging both these things, because the more knowledge we acquire, the more shall we be able to sensitize the society about the urgency to act. So the seventh resolution which I suggest is that we should utilize weekends and other holidays for studying about the life supporting systems he created and the damage we cause to the planet by our reckless anti nature living ways. Then, another rather last resolution would be that we should utilize each day of this 2023 to the optimal to save the planet, because if the things continue at this pace, very, very soon the entire planet will be rendered lifeless. And it is the duty of those who walk on the earth today to save environment and the life supporting systems of this beautiful planet for future generations who are yet to be born, and for other creations of God, all those animals, fishes, butterflies, birds, all of whom shall perish if we don't act. So we should try to utilize each day of this 2023 to the optimum, to the fullest, for making effort to save environment. Then one of the effort would be that we should make videos, voice messages, and spread it on the social media, so as to sensitize the society to act to save the planet. These are the small measures we should undertake. And last but not least, I must state about the importance of our individual contributions towards saving planet. It can be likened with a wall where with individual bricks. These individual bricks are our individual living ways as to how our anti-nature lifestyles are killing the planet. And collectively, our individual bricks make the entire wall. So we should the power of the individual contribution, or switching off light by a single person or saving a drop of water by a single person, is that by removing our individual contribution towards killing planet, that is by removing our brick, each of us can ensure that the wall collapses. So these are the small resolutions which I wanted to suggest to you, to everybody, those who have made resolutions for the new year and those who have not made for them also, because time is running out fast, especially about the global warming. When you get opportunity, study some topics like extinction of phytoplanktons, extinction of coral reefs, the effect of global warming on oceans, and how the entire planet is being killed. Because, as I said earlier, the report suggests that hardly 10 to 12 years remain for us to prevent this beautiful earth from dying. Because we don't act now, this beautiful planet, which has where several civilizations have religion, culture, music, art, science have taken birth, have died, is fast being killed by man, and that too at an accelerated pace. So let's all try to work to save environment. Lastly, I will request you all to send suggestions at our email ID. Our email ID is savemother.association@gmail.com. SAVEMOTHERASSOCIATION @gmail.com. All suggestions are welcome, And what I suggest is that all those people who want to save this planet for their children, themselves, and their grandchildren should join hands. And in addition to whatever work they are doing, should do whatever little they can to save the planet. Thank you. Forward this video to as many people as possible and make still better videos, because as I stated earlier, time is running out fast and we must act quickly, otherwise it shall become too late. Thank you.